Abigail Hanscome. It's late March in the year 1776, and the sun is rising over my farm in the town of Cape Elizabeth, which is part of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Our family has had this farm for several generations, but the area did not become a town until 1765. There was lots of forest land in our area, but most of our trees were cut down for the manufacturing of the British ships, especially their masts. We have lots of farmland now, and we are fortunate to be able to look out at the ocean every morning. Sometimes it is scary when we look out and see the British ships on the horizon. It especially scares my little brother. I always have to comfort him. I have 4 brothers, a mother, and a father. My mother works as a midwife, which means she is gone on and off during the day a lot. My 2 middle brothers died soon after they were born, so we just call them our little angels. Our little house is simple but nice. I really like it. We have our kitchen and a privy outside the side door. It's close to the house, so we don't have to walk far. Sometimes I have to walk my little brother out there at night when he's too scared to walk himself, or else we just use the chamber pots, especially since it's been such a cold winter. We have separate bedrooms, which means I don't have to share with my brothers anymore. Before the war, our family lived a simple life. All my brothers and I attended the town school. Unfortunately, I had to leave after 6th grade to help take care of all my brothers and help cook and keep the house clean. I had lots of chores and helped my mother with all the cooking and sewing. After my 2 little brothers died, it was hard for our family, but we knew infant mortality was high and there wasn't much we could do about it. We got a few tips from an Abenaki Indian who lived down the road from us, but nothing helped. Since my mother was a midwife, I had to do a lot more work on the farm, including taking care of my brothers, but I guess her job was helpful because she was the only woman in the area who could deliver babies. In the last couple of years, our family has been complaining about how we are sick and tired of having to pay taxes to the British. My mother was so tired of it that she wouldn't even let our family drink black British tea. Instead of paying taxes for the tea, she makes this type of herbal tea that her mother taught her, and I think it was an Abenaki recipe. It was also a shock to my family when we heard about what happened in the Bay of Machias, when the local people from town took out a sloop from the bay and crashed it right into the British schooner, the Margarita. Soon after that occurred, I guess the British got mad, so they decided to burn down our nearby town of Falmouth. At that time, my father and brother rode our horses down to the Fore River to watch the town burn. What a sight that must have been for them to see. Because of things getting so out of hand with the taxes and the British burning down our nearby towns, my brother and father felt that they should go fight in the war. Because we lived so near the sea, they both had a lot of knowledge about boats, so they decided to join up with a local ship and become privateers to be able to fight in the British Navy. It was a challenge for our family since they have both been gone and we miss them so much and worry, because my brother and I now have to do all the farm work. In the past 6 months, we've only received 3 letters from them, one of which mentioned that a ship nearby them had been sunk by the British. You can imagine how that made the rest of my family feel. They also mentioned that they were worried about clothing, so my mother and I started sewing breeches along with jackets and stockings and delivered them to the harbor where a boat was going to deliver packages to seafarers. Even though I constantly worry about them, sometimes my mother and I meet up with our neighbors in sewing circles to get our work done, along with some entertainment. I'm usually the most quiet in the group, and I listen to all the other ladies gossip and complain about what is happening with the British and so many men being gone. Also, another one of my lingering worries is that my youngest brother is going to want to go into the army to become a drummer or a messenger carrier. Some children as young as 7 years old have joined the war effort. It's been almost 8 months my brother and father have been off to fight the British. My mother and I thought we could keep the farm going, but it's a lot harder than we thought. Last summer, our gardens and fields were plentiful, so we were able to store our root vegetables and can lots of beans and corn. We are very fortunate to be able to live by the ocean and have our chickens and pigs. I can't count how many times I've eaten fish and clams for dinner this week. Fresh, dried, and salted, along with fish cakes, chowder, fish hash, and baked beans, and eggs from our chickens. Getting really sick of fish at this point. Sometimes we are lucky to have fried ham with our pigs. That's always a treat. There's also plentiful wildlife, and with my father and brother gone, my younger brother and I trapped turkeys, porcupines, and even have killed deer so we can eat venison. I especially love the brown bread I have learned to cook with my mother's help. It's nice to know how to cook it now so I can have it ready for her when she comes back from her midwifery. We're also very fortunate to be able to live near lots of maple trees. Collecting maple syrup is one of my favorite things to do during my free time. Even though cooking in our family has been a fun activity, it is a lot of work because of all the preparation. We have to prepare the fire, bring in the wood for the stove, and prepare the meat, which always takes a while. We always have our big meal around 3 p.m., but now it's different because my younger brother and I have to take care of all the farm work as well. Because of that, our small family now ends up eating even later in the evening. It's evening now, and the sun is slowly setting over our farm. I'm really tired, and it's starting to get really cold outside. I still have to cook supper for my brother and mother while she's out delivering our baby for the people who live about 20 minutes horse ride away. She's been due for a while now. I wish my brother and father were back already. I wouldn't have to worry about having enough food. My mom and I don't know what's going to happen this spring with our farmland because we can't do all the work alone. Our only neighbor from miles around is a man named Jordan. I don't see him much during the day. All the other younger men have headed off to war. Even my mother and I carry all these worries with us every day. But we have each other, and that's enough for now. We can't wait to hear from our boys. We're all praying that soon enough we can all somehow break free from the British and we'll be able to have our new American colonies. I have dedicated this story to the real Abigail Hanscome. I found her grave at the bottom of our field when we moved to Ram Island Farm in 2009. She died at the age of 76 in 1850.